So I used some connections, just almost like networking, to get a job at Bonita Bay down in Naples. And I worked there for almost 10 years. Living in Florida, working in Florida is, I guess, every golf professional's dream. I loved going to work. I worked a lot. I worked really to keep my mind off of different things. But I was making a lot of money. The only thing that mattered was that I was making money so I could keep doing what I was doing.
Well, so it sounds like you were living a great life. So, so how does it
Yeah.
get to the point where you're homeless on Division in downtown Grand Rapids, trying to get in a guiding light?
Okay, yeah. So uh, I started drinking on the job. And one day, my boss called me in and said, he asked me point blank, "Are you drinking?" And I said, "No, what are you talking about?" I said, "No, no." And he reached down behind his desk and pulled out a cup that I had left behind the counter like a fool, out on the driving range. And I said, "Yeah, that's my cup." And he said, "Yeah." He says, I gotta let you go." And then I got a job at a beach store. I worked there for like a year, but I was drinking every day. I came home one weekend, or maybe one week, and my dad said, "We're gonna go have lunch." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "There's this place called Guiding Light." And I had to sit down with Brian, and it was maybe half an hour. And I told Brian, thanks for lunch." I said, I'm all set." I went back. I told him I flew back to Florida, did the same old. And then a number of hospital visits later, and I couldn't remember the time frame, but when I left the hospital the last time, the nurse said, "You're going somewhere and you don't have a choice." And I said, "Okay." And then my dad flew me back to Grand Rapids. He said, "You're going to call Brian and you're going to ask him for your help, for his help." And so I called him and I said, "Brian, it's Andy Niedering." I said, "I don't know if you remember me." And Brian, being Brian, said, "I do." And I said, "Oh, great." I'm like, "This can't be good." And I said, "Brian, I really need your help." I said, I'm broken. I don't know what to do." And he said, "Why don't you come in?" This was a Monday, and he said, "Why don't you come in on Wednesday?" And me being old Andy, I said, how about Friday?" Brian being Brian, he said, "That sounds good. How about Wednesday?" And I said, "Oh, gee, can you meet me? How about Thursday?" I did that. I did that.
It's so funny. You're dying.
I'm dying. I have nowhere. I mean, my dad is fat. He's like, "You can stay here for a week." My dad took me, dropped me off in the blue room, and we cried and hugged, and then I had my interview. I'm thinking that Brian remembers the interview, that he got up and walked out. I'm sitting in the conference room, and he got up and he said, "You're a liar. You're a manipulator. I don't know. I can't help you." So then I went into the office and I called my dad on speakerphone and I said, "Dad, I didn't get accepted." And he said, "Well, You do whatever you have to do whatever they say, because guess what? I'm not coming to get you. And thankfully, they allowed me to stay, and that was the best thing that has ever happened to me.
My name is Andy. I am compassionate towards myself. I am thankful for the leadership of this program, and today I will be mindfulness.
I needed Brian to walk out. I needed that. I mean, I don't know what else I would have done. I didn't realize how stubborn I was, and that I had to just forget everything that I thought I knew and just listen. Just shut up and listen. It's just I guess I used the word blessing because it was a huge blessing for me to be a part of the community and to get my life back on track. It took me a long time to actually, like, going through that program and to learn the 7 focus points and to be able to apply each focus point to my life.
How do you like Iron House?
Love it. I had resistance. I don't know why, but I did. And then my first weekend here, by Sunday I was like, why didn't I move out here sooner? I had thoughts about moving, not moving back to Florida, but moving in to another place. And I had a talk with Brian. He said, I'm just gonna ask you one question and that's it. He's like, what's Andy's best chance to remain sober? And that was the only question. And we sat down after our walk and we did the pros and the cons, and the pros were here, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'm going. That's all he said was, what's your best chance to stay sober? He's like, he's like, I don't care what you do. I'm here for you, but I can't make that decision for you.